Ladies and gentlemen, one last time, may I please request all the delegates in this main summit hall to please settle down and take your seats. And I know I can be heard out there in the pre-function area. May I request all the delegates who are in the pre-function area, please do join us in the main function hall and settle down and take your seats. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, while we're all waiting for the proceedings to start, if you may, you could download the Natcon app. It's available on Google Play and Apple Store. And once again, those of you in the hall, please settle down, take your seats. I hope all of you had a comfortable flight or flights to join us here for the India-Egypt business meet. And I hope all of you are refreshed to take on the spirit of collaboration and cooperation that we are going to mark and celebrate at the India-Egypt business meet this evening. नीचे उतर. Thank you very much, delegates, for joining us in the main function hall. Please do settle down as fast as you can, possibly. And of course, place on silent your mobile phones, please, during the course of this evening's stage proceedings. And one last time, urging you all, reminding you all to download the Natcon app. It's available on Google Play and the Apple Store.
Good evening, friends. It's a kind request to everyone to be seated. We'll be starting the India-Egypt business session very soon. The Honorable Prime Minister, along with other ministers and other delegates, will be here in a short time. Please be seated. Thank you.
As the esteemed gentleman just told you all, please, ladies and gentlemen, please do settle down. Please do take your seats. This particular function involves protocol. We cannot begin until we have the house in order. Please settle down, take your seats, and please place your mobile phones in silent mode. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome in our midst esteemed dignitaries. Good evening to you all. We'd like to share with you all that the Honorable Prime Minister of Egypt, Mr. Mustafa Kemal Madbouli, he was here with us at the venue. There he is. I cannot say how much gratitude and joy we feel to have hosted his presence here this evening. But ladies and gentlemen, he's had to leave the venue to attend to some urgent matters at hand. Once again, let's all put our hands together in a thunderous round of applause. And please show our appreciation for the esteemed Honorable Prime Minister of Egypt, Mr. Mustafa Kemal Madbouli. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you all a minute to settle down, take your seats, place your mobile phones in silent mode, and then we shall begin. One last time, ladies and gentlemen, I still see a few of our valued delegates standing, not settled down. Please settle down, take your seats. We have the presence of honorable Egyptian ministers at the venue in the summit hall. Please settle down, take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request you all to please put your hands together in a round of applause for the Honorable Ministers of Egypt, Mr. Ahmed Samir Saleh, Mr. Hossam Heiba, and Dr. Mustafa Munir. We welcome you, sirs. A louder round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, expressing our appreciation for their esteemed presence. Please put your hands together, everybody. Namaha Aste, ladies and gentlemen. We have with us in this hall Egyptians and Indians both. So I may begin with a small explanation of why I didn't say Namaste and I said Namaha Aste. Kya hai na? Hum sab ke hriday sthan mein, anahat chakra mein, Deviya Prakash, Deviya Prem or Deviya Chetana ka vaas hai. In our hearts and our heart chakras resides divine love and divine light. And when we bring our palms together to form the Anjali Mudra, the divine in me bows to the divine in you. Ek Atma dusri Atma ke prati abhar prakat karti hai. So aaye, come. As we begin this journey of great partnership, let's all in this hall, Indians, Egyptians both, bring our palms together to form the Anjali Mudra and say Namaha Aste to each other, bowing to the divine in each other as we move forward and salute the human spirit of coexistence, the human spirit of collaboration, and the human spirit of co-creation. As we march together, taking a journey forward, building a stronger and mightier Egypt, building a stronger and mightier India, and of course, building a stronger and mightier Credai, armed with the values of excellence, progression, ethics, transparency, and above all, human welfare. Namaha Aste, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your sutradhar this evening, Geetika Ganjadhar, and on behalf of Credai, I welcome you all to the India-Egypt Business Meet. This evening, we are honored to have with us the presence of esteemed dignitaries, respected government officials from the government of Egypt, respected government officials from the government of India, valued members of the press, and of course, our dear delegates of the Credai Natcon 2023. Swagatam, Atha Swagatam, Shubha Swagatam, Atha Swagatam. Let's begin this evening, ladies and gentlemen, with a short film that showcases the spirit of partnership between these two great nations, Egypt and India. Attention on your screen.
India and Egypt, two ancient civilizations, have a deep-rooted connection that transcends time. Our ancestors, from the banks of the Indus to the shores of the Nile, gifted humanity with extraordinary knowledge in mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and much more. The legacies of hieroglyphics and Sanskrit remind us of our linguistic roots, where the exchange of ideas has shaped our collective wisdom. For millenniums, these nations have thrived, and their contributions in the field of science, art, and philosophy have illuminated the world. Today, India and Egypt stand at the forefront of progress, harnessing their ancient wisdom to drive innovation in this modern world. The friendship between these two great nations has the potential to create a powerful partnership in becoming the next superpowers of the world. Beyond our shared heritage, our nations have forged strong diplomatic bonds. Historic visits have solidified our trust and friendship. The visionary leadership of India and Egypt's Honorable Prime Ministers, Shri Narendra Modi and Mr. Mustafa Madbawli, have paved the way for for this remarkable journey of growth and cooperation. The personal rapport between our leaders mirrors the warmth and goodwill among our people, laying the foundation for enhanced economic ties. India offers boundless opportunities for trade and commerce. The nation's IT industry, pharmaceuticals, and renewable energy sectors beckon Egyptian businesses to explore new horizons. On the other hand, Egypt serves as a pivotal gateway to emerging markets, opening up a vast ocean of opportunities. Together, we can unlock tremendous potential in sectors like infrastructure, agribusiness, and tourism, propelling both nations to greater heights. The India-Egypt Business Meet marks a significant milestone on this path to progress. The people of these super nations are the driving force, carrying the dreams of a brighter tomorrow. India and Egypt stand united to write a new chapter in their shared history. Let this event be the spark that ignites a new era of cooperation, where India and Egypt grow stronger together.
We are the India-Egypt Business Meet, ladies and gentlemen, and the spirit of cooperation and collaboration between these two great nations will only grow stronger. Many of us in this hall have flown all the way from India for the Credai Natcon 23. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride that I share with all of you here, both Egyptians and Indians, that Credai across India today has 13,000 plus members in 217 chapters across 21 cities. And today, as an apex body, Credai plays a pivotal role in the sustainable growth of the real estate sector in India and plays a catalytic role in government policy formation for the real estate sector in India. Such is the world of Credai. One of the leaders of Credai is Credai President, Mr. Boman Irani, who's also Chairman and Managing Director, Rustomji Group. I'm now going to invite him on the dais to render the welcome address, ladies and gentlemen, of the India-Egypt Business Meet. I give you Mr. Boman Irani.
When you get that kind of an invite, that kind of a salutation, you know that you're amongst friends. So, welcome everybody. Let me start by saying I'm very, very pleased to have Honorable Minister, Mr. Ahmed Samir Saleh, Minister of Trade and Industry, amongst us today, representing the Honorable Prime Minister also, who was with us a few minutes back. Honorable Dr. Mustafa Munir from the Ministry of Housing, Utilities and Urban Communities. Thank you for being here, sir. Councillor Sameh Elkison, spokesman of the Cabinet of Ministers. His Excellency Ambassador Ajit Gupteji, thank you for being here. Officials of the government, Chairman of the Egyptian Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Hossam Heiba, CEO of the General Authority for Investment and Free Zones, business leaders from India, members of the CII delegation, my friends in the real estate. I must say a big thank you for all of you who've made 2, maybe 3, and some of you even 4 flights to get to this lovely destination called Sharm el-Sheikh. And it has been an absolute beautiful last, I would say, 30 hours that I've spent out here. So let me begin by speaking a little bit about the history which His Excellency briefed us about shortly back. I'm told when the mummies of Egypt were being embalmed, there were oils from India that were used for that embalming. There were also traces of clove, which you said, that were traced back to Indian origin. And that just says that for about 4,000 years, we've had a very close cultural tie-up with this beautiful country. And towards that, I must thank Shekhar Bhai though it did seem like an absolutely wild card idea to bring us all to Egypt, I must say thank you to you because you've actually allowed us to witness this great civilization. The similarities that I see between the Egyptian people and our own Indians, we are all very service-oriented. We are all very, in the Indian culture, we see Atiti Deva Bhava, means the guest is always like God. And you know, that's exactly the kind of treatment we've had at your lovely hotel, thanks to, you know, the great staff that you have or the teams that you have out here. I want to say a big thank you to the government of Egypt as well as the Indian government for increasing the air connectivity that has allowed 1,500 of our members to be here to witness this 21st Natcon in the year 2023. This is a Natcon of many firsts. Briefly about Natcon. Natcon is the national convention that we host once a year in some foreign land, allowing our developer fraternity and members of the industry to visit and acknowledge the kind of developments that are done. We, over the next 2 days, will be hosting about 10 or 11 sessions where there'll be everything from technology, including AI, including the finance world, including tokenization of real estate, and finally, even a lot of spiritual guidance or morale boosting. This, of course, is a Natcon of many firsts. First of all, it's the first Natcon in which about 1,400 plus members of Credai have participated. So a big round of applause to all of you. It is also the first Credai convention in the African continent, and I have been wanting to come here for a long time, and I'm really happy that I'm here. We, sir, for your information, are Credai. That is the Confederation of Real Estate Developers Association of India. We are the truly recognized and in constant interaction with the government of India towards all that is needed for building the nation. So we are spread across 21 states. We have 230 chapters across various small towns, big cities in the country. And of course, I told you we have 13,300 plus members as real estate developers. I would also like to state, sir, that the real estate industry today contributes 7% to the GDP of India. At the same point of time, when our Honorable Prime Minister has made a target that India should be a $5 trillion economy, we, as the real estate industry, have also taken up various challenges. And one of them is that we will contribute something like 15+% to the GDP of the country. There's a target that we've set amongst ourselves. The key punch is here that we've set a target amongst ourselves, and every one of you is going to be responsible to be a $1 trillion economy when India becomes a $5 trillion economy. So we will do it. Credai, sir, also takes up many social initiatives, including, I can tell you very proudly that we've trained 2.5 lakh workers, that is category 3 and 4 class workers, sir, across our country, those that aren't educated enough to be able to support themselves. And we have trained 2.5 lakh of those people under various skill development schemes. And this has been done basically in the last 5 years. We have given a lot of youth a new direction in life. The real estate industry, which is today at $265 billion, like I have already mentioned, will be growing up to close to around $1 trillion. And over here, it won't only be residential homes, but we also have amongst us people who are in the hospitality business, hotels like yourself out here. We have warehousing specialists who are doing a major part of the logistics of the country. We have data center providers, that is people who build data centers to hold the data of the country within the country's shores itself. The country's real estate market took a huge change or a huge turn after COVID-19. And over here, I'd like to tell you at that point of time, our developer fraternity realized the power of communication through electronic media. We did, at that point of time of uncertainty, get together online and share ideas, literally hold each other's hands. But what we saw after that was a huge upswing, not only in our industry, but across industries in India. And I'm very happy to state that today, our industry is on a very robust ground, and we are able to kind of perform much greater than what we did prior to this. Sir, you'll also be happy to note that our Honorable Prime Minister, under his housing scheme, has constructed 12 million homes for the lower and weak, economically weaker sections. And again, a lot of my fraternity out here has played a very important role in building these homes for these people. Real estate continues to be a complicated subject, not only in our country, friends, but across the world. And Credai has been working continually with the government to make sure that our business becomes a lot more simplified, if I may use that word, and a lot more organized, for sure. We have played a key role with the government, and today we are playing a key role amongst our members by improving the use of technology amongst all of us. We've also had the Real Estate Regulatory Act, which has brought in great change into our industry in India. And again, over here, there's a slew of new policies, a slew of new ways of working that we have constantly brought to the fore of our 13,300 members. And I can tell you, all of us are extremely enriched by the knowledge that Credai, through its platforms, keeps sharing. A very important decision that this industry took was during the serving of my earlier president at Credai. We decided that while India decides to go carbon neutral by 2070, we as Credai, our members, will envisage or will try to go carbon neutral by 2050. The important part out here, and I must thank each and every one of you, is that we've decided to enroll about 1 lakh homes, that's 100,000 homes, into the carbon neutrality by 2025. Just to be very clear to the friends in press, that means that we would have 100,000 homes registered to be built as carbon neutral homes on or before 2025. So today, with CII being our partner out here, we have not only the developer fraternity, but some of the captains of our industry out here. And they represent various industries, including chemicals, filmmaking, manufacturing, pharma, mobile connectivity, and many, many more. And I look forward to a healthy interaction with you, and I have reached out to my friends out here that immediately after this event, we will have a round table for you to interact with our fraternity. I would also encourage the friends from the finance world to be a part of that small group for a more in-depth discussion with our Honorable Minister. Sir, I'm informed that more than 450 companies are registered in Egypt. Indian companies are registered in Egypt, and 50 of them are extremely active across various sectors and have a combined investment of $4 billion. As you heard earlier when your Honorable Prime Minister, His Excellency, was there in the meeting, that a few captains of industry have expressed interest to actually invest a lot more. And I, on behalf of my developer fraternity, also share with you that we would be happy to bring forth our ability to build for you in your country. At the same point of time, take the opportunity and build maybe some of the best, in your best locations, some of the lovely hotels, so that we can, along with Mr. Nasir, improve your tourist population, which you're planning to take up to close to 30 million people by 2025 or 2030, I'm not sure. We are already, as India, the 7th largest trading partner with you, and sir, we have a $7 billion trade with Egypt. I assure you that given this warm welcome, my delegates and I would look forward to doubling this, if not more, in time to come. I'm confident that all our time spent out here, my friends, will lead to a lot of learnings like we did. For those of you that were present at Abu Dhabi the last time, I'm sure you enjoyed the sessions, and I can assure you that the sessions this time are as powerful and as meaningful going forward. And one of the key subjects that we will all read and learn about is the tokenization of real estate, fractional ownership, and of course, how AI will play a very important role in the real estate industry going forward. I would like to express my gratitude to the government out here. I would like to express my gratitude to the hotel Rixos that we've been staying in. On behalf of my 13,300 members and 1,500 members who are here, we look forward to having a great time. History builds the future. That is the motto of our Natcon this year. And I can tell you what I have heard in the brief period of time makes me believe that those that do not know their history usually are condemned to kind of repeat the mistakes, but we can learn and we can keep growing ahead with this lovely nation. I would request the short film that has been made about Indian growth story and the way forward to be played for everybody's benefit. Thank you very much.
In a realm where heritage as deep as rivers flow, where traditions rich as the tapestry of time thrive, there lies a heart, ceaselessly beating with the rhythm of progress, the spirit of India. It took us 58 years to reach the first trillion since independence, a mere 12 for the second, and an astonishing 5 for the third. From grains to garments, energy to engines, medicine to movies, India is not just feeding, transporting and entertaining her own, but also the rest of the world. In the course of 67 years since independence, we established 74 airports, yet it took a mere 8.5 years to double that count to 147. Now we are charting a course to exceed 300 airports by 2030. We are closing the physical distances at a breakneck speed of 37 kilometers per day. Our rail network, acclaimed as the third largest in the world, is a robust testament to India's unfurling capabilities, facilitating trade, employment and travel with a fluidity and ease that are unparalleled in our history. Having had active trade relations with the rest of the world, we have always been at the center of the world trade and commerce. Our digital transformation binds us from UPI's digital magic to the ubiquitous access of data. To being the largest e-commerce market, we are at the forefront of the digital revolution. In our cities, technology hubs rise. Our youth, ever dynamic, shape the future, turning visionary tech ideas into global enterprises. With an eye on sustainability, we harness nature's gift, aiming not just for progress, but for a greener, sustainable future. From the bustling floors of our stock exchanges to unparalleled banking and insurance bedrock, India magnetically pulls growing FDI. India's ambition unfolds across the pioneering realms of robotics, space, and semiconductor manufacturing. The resounding echoes of satellite launches are heralding an era where we stand not as mere participants, but as trailblazers carving paths through the stars. In the illustrious narrative of our nation's unfolding prosperity, real estate holds the principal position. As our urban centers stand on the cusp of monumental expansion, real estate is the sturdy bedrock upon which our modern edifices of tomorrow will be constructed. Our imprint on the world stage is undeniable. Each peacekeeper we dispatch to the United Nations, every profound thinker who influences the modern era, amplifies the world's steadfast trust in the boundless spirit of India. from the sacred soils that introduced the zero to the world, now emerges a nation on the threshold of endless possibilities. India, a unique meld of ancient wisdom and modern miracles, steers a course towards global preeminence. Jai Hind.
Jaya Hey, Jaya Hey, Jaya, 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 Jaya Hey. What a wonderful film, ladies and gentlemen, makes us feel so wonderful. That was the Credai President, Mr. Boman Irani, rendering the welcome address of the India-Egypt Business Meet. And I'm quite sure that all of you as an industry will surely touch that $1 trillion mark and make a grand contribution to India's GDP. So here we are in Egypt, ladies and gentlemen. The timeless gems of Egypt provide a remarkable backdrop to the convention that we will be beginning tomorrow and to the India-Egypt Business Meet. The juxtaposition of the past and the future creates a very unique and inspiring environment that fuels creativity and fosters the spirit of comradeship. As I was flying from India to Egypt, I read online how ancient Egyptians believed that when they took their final journey, they'd be asked two questions. The first being, did you bring joy? And the second being, did you find joy? Ladies and gentlemen, as we are here in Egypt, let's together with the Egyptians, this great nation Egypt, give and take joy and march forward with the spirit of partnership, together creating a better world for all humanity, a better universe for you and me. And once again, let's all put our hands together and thank the government of Egypt, the authorities, the hospitality, the tourism, the private bodies for giving us such magnificent support to stage the India-Egypt Business Meet and the Natcon, of course. And on that thought, may I please now invite on the dais Dr. Mustafa Munir, Honorable Minister of Housing, Utilities and Urban Communities, Egypt, for his address. Sir, please join us on stage and share your thoughts with us on this occasion. We are delighted with your esteemed presence, sir. Please. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for him, please, once again. Good evening, sir. Namaste. We are delighted with your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Minister has a presentation that we'll just take a minute to set up. Is that okay with everybody? Yes? Thank you very much.
Can open the presentation?
Yes, sir. They're just going to take a few seconds to do that for you. Meanwhile, I'd like to share with you how delighted all of us are to be here in Egypt. We just love the experience. Thank you for the fantastic hospitality. And we'll be coming back many more times, won't we? Once again, put your hands together for the Honorable Minister here. And my friends at the console, if you're ready, give me a thumbs up, please. The name of the file is Urban Development in Egypt. For your reference, our friends at the console.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are pleasure to meet you in this event. I have a short presentation about the opportunities in real estate in Egypt. Okay, we beginning with make a structure plan and master plan before 2080. Now we applied a strategic plan and incremental planning. Okay. There is 5 basic objectives of urban planning in Egypt. Participatory, integrated plan, sustainability, effective plan, supporting plan. By this 5, we make a strategic plan for all Egypt. Okay? We make a vision for national Egypt. It's make the size of land population decrease from 7 and 5% to 13 and 7%. It contains the historical land use of Egypt and make a special land use for future, contains tourism area in the coastal zone, residential area in about 25 new communities, and a lot of urban corridors covered all of Egypt, and many industrial area supposed in Egypt. So the vision from 7 years come true now. Many projects, mega projects in Egypt, like new capital, this now, the business center in new capital, okay, new Alamein, there's a recreation area and hotels in Alamein, in old city of Cairo, Masbiro Triangle in old city on the Nile River, Saint Catherine in South Sinai. So there is a principles for new generation in Egypt: smart, sustainable, resilient city. The first, green city. We applied the system of green city in all cities in Egypt, especially in urban, new urban communities. Aswan city, new Aswan city. Okay, new Aswan city. The Green River in new capital city. In Sierra Lake in our park in old city. Pathway of all Egyptian in all cities around the Nile River. Principle 2, providing the house, the services and for all person in Egypt, women, children, for all. Okay. We suggest and make the planning for all cities especially in the new cities, and establish city centers, commercial centers, activities, education and hospital, and in all cities, administrative area, city for all. This is the principle of 3. So we can apply the system of new housing in Egypt. We target till about 2 million and 2 units distribution on the all categories of community, social and informal settlements, and middle income and high income. We cover the all categories in the community. This is the level of low income, okay? Middle income class, high income. We apply these categories in all new cities in Egypt. Principle 4, integrated with the environment. We know the disasters and climate change. We make the solution for all cities to reduce the effect of the climate change. Okay? There is some models of new generation cities in Egypt. In 7 years, in all 7 years, we established about 23 cities, and in the last 7 years, 25, the 4th generation of cities, distributed in the whole of country. Main of this new administrative capital. This is the select in the east of the old city Cairo. We make with the master plan of Egypt, a corridor from West 6 October to the Suez Canal, and the center of this new capital of Egypt. Residential area about 13%, city service about 10%, investments uses and open spaces and administrative and logistic uses. It contains all of elements. Okay. This is a photo now. This is the iconic towers and towers for business and financial for all countries. This is the photo of Green River, the biggest in the Middle East. The level of housing in capital, in new capital. Mixed land use in with the okay. The garden city, like the old garden city in the old city. Okay. Okay. Type of villa. Alamein city, the biggest, the second biggest cities in the Egypt. A huge area, contains the towers on the beach. The Corniche or coastal area. Okay. the recreation and commercial area in the Alamein city. Okay. Okay. Heritage city. Okay. Latin district in Alamein city. And the new downtown for Alamein city. It contains many central towers and north towers and hospitality area. This is in the side, back side of the coastal zone. Okay. The design, in reality now, and one of the most beautiful project in the old city. In the downtown of Cairo, Maspero Triangle. We proposed there in this triangle a hotel. There is a lot of facilities package for the projects. You can, okay. I can put this, I'll send this for us. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your address. Ladies and gentlemen, may I please invite on stage Chairman Credai, Mr. Manoj Gaur, to felicitate sir on stage and express our gratitude for his presence. Thank you for your presence at the India-Egypt Business Meet. Dr. Mustafa Munir, we're delighted with your presence. Thank you very much once again, and thank you, Mr. Manoj Gaur, for doing the honors. Ladies and gentlemen, the times that we live in are the times of collaboration. Collaboration is the only way forward, and that's exactly what we're doing here at the India-Egypt Business Meet. We are harnessing the power of collaboration. On that note, may I please invite on stage Chairman of the CII delegation, Mr. P.S. Ajay Raman, Chairman TCI Sanmar Chemicals, and request him to please address the gathering. Good evening, sir. Are you, please?
Respected ministers, government of Egypt, ambassador of India, other dignitaries who are present here. I must first of all thank Credai and the organizers to have given an opportunity for me to stand before you and address this August gathering. First of all, CII takes a lot of pleasure in joining hands with Credai in putting together this event, in arranging this India-Egypt business meet. As most of you are aware from India what CII is all about. And for those Egyptian friends who are assembled here, Confederation of Indian Industry, CII, is one of the large industrial bodies operating out of India. It is a 125-year-old organization, present with 9,000 members, direct members, and almost about 300,000 indirect associations who are playing a part in day-to-day activities of CII. CII works closely with the government of India, and now it has started working with several of the other governments in other countries because it has officers and it is sharing knowledge and experience, what it has demonstrated in India, and that is being taken to the other countries, and that is our efforts. What we do as a part of several of our activities, we also take trade delegations, and one such delegation which I was privileged to be a leader is from India. Last 2 days, all our delegation members are all present here, representing cross-section of several of the industries from India, and they have been here having had fruitful discussions with several of the governmental agencies, chambers of commerce, and several of the ministers, and they have looked at the opportunities that are available which this country presents, and they are willing to take forward with proper due diligence to be handled, and they would like to take advantage of the opportunity that is available in Egypt. Similarly, we have also urged as part of CII to bring the Egyptian businessman to India and take advantage of the opportunities which India presents, which is phenomenal at this point of time. And there have already been several success stories, both from the Indian context into Egypt, as well as from Egypt. Some of the companies, big groups, have come into India, and it's quite logical that this should grow leaps and bounds. Talking about the minister has taken adequate demonstration he has done of the capabilities and what has been done in the real estate sector. As a person closely associated with Egypt for the last 16, 17 years, we, as part of Sanmar Group, we operate a chemical company in this country for the last 16 years, and I have been responsible for putting together that project. We operate in a place called Portside with a huge investment, the largest coming from India into Egypt, and also we have created largest capacities for the commodity chemicals in this company. I have personally seen the growth of the real estate here, and it is absolutely amazing, I should tell you. Those of you who may or may not find time to take your time to visit the new capital city, it is a marvel. You should come specially for seeing that place. Huge activity, and it's simply a model of what is possible by the real estate sector that can be put together. The government of Egypt has done an excellent thing in terms of creating a new city in a quick, shortest period of time. So these are all the opportunities which are there, not only in real estate, but also other areas in Egypt. I would urge all of you to look at it and spread this knowledge, and see to it that this kind of association with the trade bodies grow leaps and bounds. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. P.S.J. Raman, for your most informative address. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to invite on stage Mr. Nikhil Meswani, Executive Director, Reliance Industries Limited. We all know that he was one of the founder directors of the company, and he's really truly made a great contribution towards Reliance being a leading global player in the field of petrochemicals. In fact, for over a decade now, ICIS, a chemical industry magazine, has ranked him among the top 40 power players in the world of petrochemicals across the world map. A distinguished son of soil. Please, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as I welcome him on stage. Mr. Nikhil Meswani will now address the India-Egypt Business Summit. Good evening, sir. Namaste. Ladies and gentlemen, once again a round of applause for Mr. Nikhil Meswani.
Good evening. Honorable ministers of the Cabinet of Egypt, esteemed ministers, diplomats, our ambassador, senior dignitaries, guests, friends from the media, organizers, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm good evening to all of you. It is both my privilege and honor to address all of you at this truly spectacular event organized by Credai. I am thankful for your warm invitation, and in particular to my dear friend Baman Irani in making sure I am amongst you today. This gathering is just not a congregation of the leading lights of the real estate industry, but also a convergence of culture, ideas, opportunities of the most two vibrant nations, India and Egypt. We all know the pyramids of Egypt, the lighthouse of Alexandria, and the Suez Canal, all of which remain engineering marvels of the construction industry and have stood the test of times. Egypt, in that sense, is an ideal location for this gathering. The two nations, separated by vast distances, have shared a profound and enduring relationship that spans over a millennia. It is a combination of two great nations with rich heritage and culture, and a confluence of two of the greatest rivers on earth, the Nile and the Ganges. We represent the trade routes of the ancient lifeline of the world. Today, both India and Egypt seek to navigate the challenges of the modern world and achieve progress and prosperity. They have a lot to celebrate, share, learn from each other while preserving their traditions. I would also like to recognize and commend the remarkable efforts of Credai in promoting and fostering the relationship between the two nations, acknowledge the significant contributions that is done at the Natcon. Ladies and gentlemen, history indeed is building the future. A new India has emerged from the shadows of the ancient India and is playing a defining role on the global stage. This new India is full of self-confidence. It is unstoppable and tireless. It will not give up. In this volatile and uncertain world of today, there is one sharp, unmistakable ray of certainty, the certainty of India's emergence as a leading nation in an increasingly multipolar world. In fact, India's tradition and transformation as a prosperous, strong, and self-confident nation stands out as a beacon of hope for the rest of the world. Our young people, their rising income levels and aspirations are the backbone of India's journey from $3.5 trillion GDP to a $10 trillion GDP over the next decade. It will continue to remain, it is already one and will continue to remain one as the largest and the fastest growing GDP engine worldwide. This is enabled by our honorable and decisive Prime Minister and his par excellence statesmanship by none other than our honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Bhai Modi. The eternal purpose of Reliance has always been to make India prosperous and help Indians lead better lives. This is what our company has been doing since our inception through our business and philanthropic activities. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning, while on my flight to this beautiful resort of Sharm el-Sheikh, I couldn't but wonder the similarity between this rich nation and our company Reliance Industries. Egyptian economy was built from harvesting cotton to make textiles. Egyptian cotton even today continues to be the finest in the world. Egypt was one of the first countries in the world to take lead in various stages of the petroleum industry, from oil and gas to chemicals. In that sense, Egypt has evolved from textiles and chemicals to oil. In a very striking similarity, Reliance also started as a textile company in the late 60s. We went on to become a global player in petrochemicals and refining, and that was a part of our backward integration journey. We conceived a world-scale refinery which was commissioned at the end of the last century on the western coast of India at Jamnagar. We further integrated backwards to deep water exploration on the east coast of India, and in that sense, both Egypt and Reliance fully understand today's buzzword, oil to chemicals. Today, Jamnagar is the petroleum hub of the world, representing about 30% of India's refining capacity and 1.5% of the crude processing capacity of the world. Journey of Reliance over the past 45 years of our public history has been one of sustained value creation. We were not even amongst the top 100 companies in India when we were listed in 1978. Beginning from a mere $2 million in market cap, we stand tall today at over $230 billion of market cap. We continue to remain India's largest and most profitable enterprise, India's largest taxpayer, and the largest exporter. We have richly rewarded our shareholders, and we are proud to have changed the lives of millions of Indians in our journey. What is good for India is good for Reliance. Most of our growth has been organic, which is unique to India and perhaps unique to the world outside the IT industry. Over the last 4 decades, we have carved our way to be a leading player globally in each of our portfolios, be it petrochemicals, refining, deep water exploration, technology and telecom, or retail. We have set seemingly impossible goals and achieved them by betting on the young people of India. I quote here my uncle and our founder chairman, Shri Dhirubhai Ambani. Give the youth a proper environment, motivate them, extend them the support that they need. Each one of them have an infinite source of energy. They will deliver. This is evident from the fact that just in the last decade, Reliance has invested over $150 billion in India, higher than any other corporate in India and comparable to the best in the world. The launch of Reliance Jio, our technology and telecom platform, only 7 years ago, triggered India's transformation in one of the most advanced digital societies globally. India is now working marvels with digital technologies and new age tools of the fourth industrial revolution. Today, world's fastest 5G rollout is happening in India, and Jio 5G is present in 96% of the census towns and will be present throughout India before the end of this year. Our 5G rollout is powered by Jio's own 100% in-house developed 5G stack, which perfectly aligns with our Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, or self-sufficient India. Jio 5G has the potential to transform our economy, especially those who are at the bottom of the pyramid, and give them the benefits of new world's technology and artificial intelligence, each to a common man at affordable prices. Reliance Retail is the only retailer in the global top 100, and it's the fastest growing retailer in the world. We today operate over 18,000 stores across the length and breadth of our country in each and every format, from food and groceries to luxury retail. Ladies and gentlemen, to combat our climate crisis, Reliance is accelerating green energy initiatives to realize our ambition to lead India as a world leader in energy transition. Our aim is to install over 100 gigawatts of renewable energy generation by 2030. The company remains focused on very fast-track execution of Dhirubhai Ambani Green Energy Complex, again at our Jamnagar refinery, with 5 gigafactories, from photovoltaic to solar, battery storage, electrolyzers, and fuel cells, and above all, power electronics. The cradle of our old energy revolution, in that sense, will be also the cradle of our new energy revolution. In its traditional hydrocarbon businesses, Reliance was enhance gas production, transition to a greener and sustainable fuels and materials, provide customized solutions, and remain committed to a greener tomorrow. In fact, I'm very proud to say that Reliance has been the powerhouse to achieve 90% recycling rate of PET in India. We are inspired by our present chairman, Shri Mukesh Ambani's vision that in today's businesses, to be successful, we have to create societal value first, customer value next, employee value thereafter, in order to succeed and create sustainable shareholder value. These initiatives will accelerate our journey as a group to be net carbon zero by 2035. In conclusion, we have constantly innovated to provide our customers products and services of the highest quality at the most affordable prices in the world, thereby enhancing the quality of life and the ease of living of hundreds of millions of Indians. Most importantly, a new Reliance has emerged and is committed to contribute in its own way to a new India. This new Reliance, with its new age technology company, will be having disruptive capabilities backed by the youth of India. This Reliance is committed to transform in its own way to contribute to make India a developed nation by 2047, a prosperous India in which no Indian and no region of our country will be left behind. In today's modern world, India and Egypt have evolved and are making great strides in technological advancements by embracing innovation. Our founder chairman, Shri Dhirubhai Ambani, always emphasized the power of dreams in achieving greater heights. He used to say, for those who dare to dream, there is a whole world to win. Reliance is a testimony of his power of dreams. In the days ahead, let us unite to celebrate our shared history and embrace the extraordinary potential that blossoms our collaboration and charts the progress for future generations for a better tomorrow. I once again thank Baman for inviting me here, and I hope this will motivate you to achieve the 15% target that he has said. Thank you for your patient listening.
Thank you, sir, for your address. As Mr. Nikhil Meswani just said, yes, indeed, our two great nations have many a similarity. And going by the theme of India's G20 presidency, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we are headed forward, marching forward, striding forward, armed with the spirit of one earth, one family, one future, as we together build a better world for all citizens of this planet. Ladies and gentlemen, we today have the presence of Mr. Hossam Heba, CEO of General Authority for Investment and Free Zones, Egypt. May I please take this opportunity He's just left the hall for a few minutes for a bilateral meet, ladies and gentlemen. I will keep you updated on whether he will be speaking over the span of the proceedings on stage here. I'd now like to invite on stage Mr. Ajit Gupte, Ambassador of India to Egypt, and request him to please address the gathering. This evening would be incomplete without his address. We are delighted with his presence. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome him on stage with a resounding round of applause. Good evening, sir.
Minister of Trade and Industry, my good friend Mr. Ahmad Samir, Minister of Housing and Utilities, Mr. Asim El Ghazar, Chairman of Credai, Mr. Manoj Gaur, the President-elect of Credai, Mr. Shekhar Patel, Mr. Boman Irani, the current President of Credai, and dear friends. It is indeed a privilege for me to be here today and to see such a large gathering in the beautiful resort town of Sharm el-Sheikh. I think by far this is the largest business congregation from India which has visited Egypt in the last couple of years. Egypt and India are two of the world's most ancient civilizations. And let me take you back 4,000 years when there were only 5 civilizations in the world: Egypt, India, China, Mesopotamia, and in Latin America. Our connectivity started more than 4,000 years ago. As Boman Irani mentioned, the mummies in Egypt used oils brought from India. It is said that cloves which were found in the nostrils of the mummies, including the pharaohs, were grown in India. But our contacts have endured over the centuries. In fact, most recently, only about 3 months ago, in the coastal town of Bernice, a statue of the Buddha was discovered. They also discovered a Sanskrit inscription, and this was probably commissioned by some Indian traders only about 2,000 years ago. Egypt is known for its ancient civilization. I believe some of you might be going to Cairo. Please do visit not only the pyramids and the Sphinx, but also some of the beautiful museums. It is also known for its famous ancient cities of Luxor. I would encourage as many of you as possible to visit there. You will see firsthand monuments and temples which are 3,500 years old, and they are remarkably intact. A visit to the Valley of the Kings and Valley of the Queens is also an experience which you will never forget, because many of these tombs remained closed for nearly 3,000 years, and they were discovered only about 100 years ago. Friends, India and Egypt have had historic relations. Some of the main events of the 20th century were Mahatma Gandhi's visit through the Suez Canal on his way to London for the Round Table Conference. Actually, Mahatma Gandhi was not allowed by the British to disembark from the ship because they were afraid that the nationalist movement in Egypt would gather speed. Similarly, Tagore had visited Egypt, and he is fondly remembered through poems written by the famous Egyptian poet Ahmad Shawki. In the 1950s, there was a very special friendship between President Nasser and our Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, which is remembered very fondly even today. In 1961, India, Egypt, and Yugoslavia together established the non-aligned movement. Our friendship has endured through the decades, and it is a coincidence that President Sisi and Prime Minister Narendra Modi came to power together in 2014. President Fatah al-Sisi visited India in October 2015 and September 2016, and it was our privilege to host him as the chief guest of the Republic Day in January this year. This was a very notable event because it was the first time ever in the last 75 years that a president of the Arab Republic of Egypt was invited to India as the chief guest. This was followed very quickly by the visit of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Egypt from 24th to 25th of June, and this visit took place after a gap of 27 years. During the visit of President Sisi and Prime Minister Modi, both countries agreed to establish a strategic partnership, and this was finalized during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit. Friends, very briefly, Egypt is the largest and most populous Arab country with a population of 105 million. the population is estimated to grow to 150 million by 2050. It has great influence in the Arab world and also in Africa. In fact, Egypt straddles Africa and the Gulf countries. The decisions taken by Egypt and its position on foreign policy has a lot of influence in the region. At the economic level, Egypt occupies a very strategic location because the Suez Canal passes through it, because it has great proximity to the EU, and very importantly, and I would request you to note this, Egypt is a part of 8 free trade agreements with most regions in the world. It has an FTA with Africa, with the EU, with the East European countries, with the Gulf countries, with North America, and with Latin America. So due to Egypt's strategic location and the FTAs, as well as the adequate availability of land, 24 hours of electricity, and cheap labor, Egypt can be a suitable staging point for Indian companies to set up manufacturing units and export to Europe, as well as the US. I would suggest that Indian corporates look at this more actively. India actually is a very important investor in Egypt, and our companies have invested $3.3 billion. The largest investor is TCI Sanmar with an investment of $1.5 billion. But more Indian corporates are looking at further investments in Egypt. Due to the improvement in bilateral relations, the Egyptian government welcomes the Indian investments, and I am sure they will do their utmost to provide a conducive environment. Friends, I am happy to tell you that there has been multifaceted development in our bilateral relations in the last 2 years. Our bilateral trade grew by 75% in 2021-22 to reach $7.26 billion. The trade is evenly balanced. We have had nearly 1,200 Indian companies visiting Egypt to take part in trade fairs and exhibitions. Egypt was actually the first country to start organizing trade fairs in June 2021 at a time when most of the world was afraid of COVID. But the Egyptians were not afraid of COVID. Fortunately, the COVID pandemic did not hit Egypt too hard, and I was pleasantly surprised that most of the Indian companies not only came to Egypt to take part in the trade fairs, but also happily visited and did some sightseeing. And I do not recall anybody catching COVID. India invited Egypt as a guest country for the G20, and I'm happy to tell you that 10 Egyptian ministers have visited Egypt in the last 9 months. I'm sure this will open up many opportunities to strengthen bilateral cooperation in the future. Thanks to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's initiative, the African Union has also been invited to become a part of G20, and I'm sure this is being welcomed in Egypt and the rest of Africa. Very briefly, friends, our defense cooperation has also grown by leaps and bounds. This is particularly important because India and Egypt have traditionally had close defense cooperation. It may surprise you, but in the 1960s, India and Egypt had worked together to develop a jet fighter. And actually the prototype had been built and it was flying. But we've had more than 40 defense delegations visiting Egypt in the last 2.5 years. This includes 16 naval ships. It includes 5 joint exercises between the fighter aircrafts of both air forces and a number of other defense delegations. I would like to conclude by thanking all of you for coming to Sharm el-Sheikh. It's a beautiful town. Please do take some time out to explore the beaches. There are some beautiful islands. There is the Ras Gharib area. I don't know if you will have time to go for that. But do take some time, particularly those of you who are avid swimmers, do try some snorkeling. Sharm el-Sheikh has some excellent coral, among the best in the world. And if any of you get a little more time, you might like to visit St. Catherine's Monastery, where Moses delivered the 10 Commandments. So Egypt, like India, is multicultural. About 10% of Egypt's population is Christian, the 90% is Muslim. But it has a lot of historic sites from the Pharaonic times, but also from the Coptic times, and some very important sites like St. Catherine's Monastery. Thank you. I'm sure you will visit Egypt again in the future.
Thank you, Honorable Ambassador, for that address. It enriched us with the most precious content, sir. May I please request Treasurer of Credai, Mr. Bandish Ajmera, to join us on stage and say thank you to you, felicitate you for your presence here this evening. Indeed, delighted to have you here, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Ambassador prior to this has held several distinguished positions, including Deputy Director General of ICCR. He's also been Ambassador of India to Denmark, and he's held the post of Deputy Chief of Mission at the Indian Embassy in Berlin. Once again, thank you for your presence. And thank you, sir, for doing the honors. And may I now please invite on stage Mr. Ahmed Samir Saleh, Honorable Minister of Trade and Industry, Egypt, to please address the India-Egypt Business Meet. Welcome, sir. Looking forward to your address.
A very good evening, and before I start my remarks, please allow me to thank every and each one of you who made the effort to join us here today. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to extend my sincere greetings to the Government of India and express my appreciation to the Confederation of Real Estate Development Association of India, Credai, for organizing the 21st edition of Credai Natcon 2023. It gives me a great pleasure to be here today at this annual forum, which is being held in our beautiful city, Sharm el-Sheikh. I also want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Credai, the Confederation of Indian Industries, and the Indian Embassy in Egypt for giving me the opportunity to address such a distinguished gathering. We understand the importance of collaboration and the exchange of ideas between nations. In fostering sustainable development, events like this forum provide an individual platform for knowledge sharing, business networking, and exploring potential partnership. It is through such partnership and collaboration that, that we can collectively achieve our common goals of prosperity and development. Distinguished guests, India has long recognized as a global leader in the real estate sector, and Credai has played a significant role in shaping the industry growth and development. We highly value the expertise and the experience of Indian real estate developers and view India as a key partner for cooperation and exchange. I'm pleased to share with you that Egypt has implemented several policies to attract foreign investment in the real estate sector. These include the creation of new investment zones, streamlined regulation, and establishment of specialized courts for speedy dispute resolution. Our efforts has been resulted in a significant increase in foreign direct investment in real estate and infrastructure projects. Dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take the opportunity to draw your attention to the recent development of Egypt's membership in the BRICS bloc. This membership presents a significant opportunity for both Egypt and India to strengthen their collaboration in the real estate sector and explore new horizons for growth and investments. Egypt joining the BRICS bloc opens avenues for enhanced economic ties, not only between Egypt and India, but also across the African continent. The real estate sector, being a key driver of economic development, can act as a catalyst for mutually beneficial cooperation. Indian investors can leverage the expertise and resources of both countries to explore and invest in the African real estate market, aiming to meet the growing demand for housing, commercial spaces, and infrastructure development. In conclusion, I extend my warmest wishes for a successful forum and fruitful dialogue. May this event further strengthen the bond between India and Egypt, and we work together towards the common goal of sustainable development and economic prosperity. Before I end my remarks, I would like to thank Mr. Bowman Armani and Ambassador Gupta for the lovely remarks that he gave about Egypt. Thank you, Ambassador Gupta. Thank you, sir. And of course, for you as businessman, I'm sure that a political speech is not what you're looking for. So I would like to, for the industrial sector, especially in petrochemical and pharmaceutical, and I will use the quote of Honorable Prime Minister Modi: India is the world's pharmacy to start business. So who would like to join me? Okay, I'll be glad to give you more outlook and outview about the business in Egypt. Thank you very much. Oops, this is yours.
No worries, no worries. No worries, sir. Sir, please stay for this. We'd like to felicitate you. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for that wonderful gesture of quoting our Honorable Prime Minister here at the India-Egypt Business Meet. We'd like to say thank you to you for your presence. May I please invite on stage Mr. Shekhar Patel, Credai President-elect, who will do the honors for this felicitation. Good evening. Thank you for your presence, sir, and thank you, Mr. Shekhar Patel, for doing the honors. And now, ladies and gentlemen, may I please invite on stage Mr. Manoj Gaur, Chairman Credai and Chairman and Managing Director of the Gaurs Group, to render the vote of thanks of the India-Egypt Business Meet. Please, sir.
I, as a chairman of Credai, I am happy to extend my sincere gratitude and thank each of one you are present here. First of all, His Excellency, our Honorable Prime Minister Mustafa Modboli, I can't thank you enough for taking out time from your busy schedule and joining us for this very important India-Egypt business meet. Your presence has been boosted our enthusiasm and encouraged us to work towards better relations between India and Egypt. I would also like to thank Minister for Industry and Trade, Ahmed Samir Saleh, Mr. Mustafa Munir, Minister for Housing, Utilities and Urban Committees, Mr. Hosham Habib, CEO of General Authority of Investment and Free Zone. I would also like a special thank to our Ambassador Shri Ajit Gupte for accepting our invite and addressing us today. Sir, your sincere presence is true testament of Indian government's focus on bilateral relations with Egypt. I thank representative of Egypt Chamber of Commerce for joining us today. I would also like to thank Mr. Nikhil Mejwani from Reliance Group for participating in today's session and business meet. I thank Mr. P.S. Jayaraman, Chairman of CII, Business Delegation and members of the delegation for joining us today. Your participation reflects the commitment of Indian industry in promoting our trade with Egypt. I would also like to thank our sponsors, media representatives, and my friends from real estate fraternity for joining and making this Indian-Egypt business meet a huge success. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
And ladies and gentlemen, as we end the India-Egypt Business Summit, may I leave you all with a prayer for world peace. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. As our two great nations work to make the world a better place. This is Geetika saying Namaha Aste. Have a great evening ahead and a great Credai Natcon 2023. Thank you very much.